Hi, Mark the Snake Hunter here, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my favourite creatures that you find in and around the garden, which is the eastern blue-tongue lizard. As the name suggests, essentially they're from the eastern part of Australia. They're a type of lizard, or more specifically a type of skink, and they have a very fleshy, bright blue tongue, which he stopped putting out. One second. There we go, the blue tongue's starting to show up now. Now, eastern blue-tongue lizards are very common to have in the home and backyard. Eastern blue-tongue lizards vary in colour, usually from a grey variety of blue-tongue that can have either black or brown stripes, or alternatively, come back here you, the brown variety or golden variety of blue-tongue that again can have black or brown stripes on it. On the underside of the blue tongue, they usually have a lighter coloured belly that has like a reddish spot on it as well. Now this is the typical size for an eastern blue-tongue lizard, about 30 centimeters long. However, they have been found up to 60 centimeters, which is just enormous. So in and around the home, blue-tongue lizards can be found almost anywhere, hidden in bushes, underneath rocks or logs, and it's important to leave them there. Now the reason I was able to pick up this little guy is he's actually one of my pet blue tongues, so that way we can use him for demonstration purposes. Now if you find them around the house, they actually like to eat all the insects and bugs that are around the home, such as snails, slugs, beetles, insects. They'll also eat native wild flowers as well as berries. If you see them around your home, it's important not to feed them. However, if you have pet blue tongues, you can also feed them like bits of banana, tomato, mincemeat as well. That way they can grow nice and big and healthy and happy. Now it's very common for blue tongues to surprise you and pop up in places that you don't expect, such as underneath your garbage bin. There we go. Now if you get surprised by a blue tongue, don't actually worry about it. They don't cause you any harm. They just simply live in the garden, eat what's native to the area, and carry on about their way. It's very important that you don't try to go out of your way to kill a blue tongue as well. They're very important creatures and they're actually part of the native Australian ecosystem. Now blue tongues love to bask where they're able to do so, and if they feel threatened, such as you come out in the garden and you see one, they're most likely to run and hide in the place that they were originally from, such as in between rocks or bricks or underneath logs, places like that. Now there are major threats to blue tongues existing in suburban environments. While they belong in and around your home, unfortunately people do go out of their way and kill them with shovels or blunt instruments. It's very important to keep your cats locked up at night time as well, because cats are natural hunters. They'll find the blue tongue resting and then they'll go out of their way and actually kill the blue tongue lizard too, especially if they're a small baby. Dogs as well need to be trained or at least kept away from blue tongues. So if your dog is in the garden and it's barking towards an area and trying to get access to a blue tongue, you might be best just to move the blue tongue out of the way, so that way it's not in harm's way from your dog's mouth. So another threat to blue tongues is actually snail bait. Now, if you have blue tongues in your garden, there's no need to put down snail bait or any kind of slug repellents. What happens is the slugs or snails eat the repellents and then the blue tongues eat the slugs and snails. Blue tongues are like nature's insecticide. If you have them in your garden, they'll go through and eat the caterpillars and bugs that will be eating your veggies. So in other words, blue tongues are good for your garden. Plus, who would want to kill these cute little creatures as well? Blue tongues are fascinating creatures to watch and have around the place. It's a lot of fun to just watch them running in and out of their hidey homes, finding things to eat in your garden, and watching them drink water too. Which brings me to the next point. If you do have blue tongues in your garden, make sure you leave a water bowl or something out there in the shade for them to drink from. Now, blue tongues typically live alone for most of the year. However, in spring, say between September to November, the boys can travel up to 1 kilometre or more in search of a female. Females then give birth from between 10 to 25 babies, which are self-sufficient and then disperse after a few days. If you have babies born in your garden, leave them be so they can venture out into the world on their own. Look at this cute little creature here. Blue tongues actually can't regulate their temperature like you and I can. They rely on the sun to warm up during the day, but they can't actually get too hot. It's quite common for people to find blue tongues basking in their garden, just like this little guy is here right now. He's a little bit slow moving right now, but if you really tempt him to, well, he was supposed to be fast moving, but it didn't happen. They can actually run quite fast. Let me just grab him back here again. During the day, as I said, they're seen sunbaking. At night time, blue tongues are often hiding under things just to get away and keep themselves safe from predators. Now I want to address two common myths that exist about blue tongues. The first being that blue tongues keep away snakes. Sadly, it's actually not true. In fact, blue tongues are actually a food for venomous snakes. So if you have a blue tongue in your garden, that doesn't mean it's going to keep snakes away. In fact, if you have a blue tongue in your garden for a long time, suddenly it disappears, and then you see a venomous snake, you can probably presume that the snake ate it. And the second myth about blue tongues is that they're actually maybe evil or harmful to have around the home. As discussed, that's just not true. Blue tongues are very beneficial to keep around.